Same as It Ever Was by Claire Lombardo. Audiobook book summary in English. Let's craft a long and detailed summary of Same as It Ever Was by Claire Lombardo, one that captivates readers and hooks them from the start. Hooked intro. Life often has a way of circling back to the very places we thought we'd left behind. For Julia Ames, the protagonist of Claire Lombardo's Same as It Ever Was, this cyclical inevitability is both a blessing and a burden. At 57, Julia's life seems to have finally found a balance. She's built a quiet, predictable existence and takes solace in routines that anchor her amidst life's chaos. Yet, the scars of her past still quietly ripple under the surface, waiting to disrupt the calm. Claire Lombardo takes us on a journey through Julia's intertwined present and past, weaving a story that captures the struggles of motherhood, friendship, identity, and the ways life refuses to follow a straight path. An unraveling present. In the book's opening, we meet Julia as she faces an unexpected announcement from her 24-year-old son, Ben, who, much to her surprise, is getting married. This revelation sends shockwaves through Julia's carefully maintained sense of control. Ben is pragmatic and often detached, a contrast to Julia's emotional approach to life, so the news feels sudden, almost out of character. While she should be celebrating, Julia instead spirals into reflection about the choices she made at his age, wondering if she passed her mistakes and insecurities down to him. Meanwhile, Julia's teenage daughter, Alma, is navigating her own rebellion. Alma's fiery independence and disregard for convention echo Julia's younger self, and watching her daughter repeat some of the same reckless patterns is both infuriating and heartbreaking. Julia struggles to offer guidance without pushing too hard, knowing all too well the fragility of the mother-daughter bond. Her marriage to Scott, a steady and dependable partner, is tested as the familial tensions grow. Their relationship, once a safe harbor, now feels like it's drifting into stagnation. The rekindling of an old friendship only adds fuel to Julia's introspective fire. Helen Russo, the catalyst of change. Julia's world becomes even more complicated with the reappearance of Helen Russo, an old friend and mentor figure who played a pivotal role in shaping her adult life. Helen, 30 years Julia's senior, is an imposing presence, both intellectually and emotionally. She's a retired corporate litigator and mother of 5, a woman who seems to have perfected the art of balancing ambition with family, though Julia knows Helen's life has its own dark corners. When Julia met Helen decades earlier, it was at a time when she was adrift, searching for identity and stability. Their friendship became a lifeline, though not without its complications. Helen's mentorship wasn't conventional, it was filled with tough love, occasional manipulation, and an intimacy that blurred the lines of friendship. Seeing Helen again forces Julia to confront unresolved emotions and unspoken conflicts. Helen's re-entry into Julia's life is not just a reunion but a catalyst for reflection, reminding Julia of the woman she used to be and the parts of herself she's tried to bury. The haunting echoes of the past. Flashbacks pepper the narrative, revealing Julia's tumultuous younger years. As a young adult, Julia was impulsive, fiercely independent, and often self-destructive. Her relationships, particularly romantic ones, were marked by a pattern of chasing affection while sabotaging genuine connection. The scars of her childhood, a father who was distant and a mother who was loving but overwhelmed, left her with a deep-seated fear of abandonment. These emotional wounds carried into her adult life, influencing her choices and making her wary of vulnerability. One particularly poignant thread explores Julia's first significant romantic relationship, one that ended in betrayal and left her questioning her worth. The heartbreak became a turning point, leading her into Helen's orbit. Helen offered her a kind of love and validation she hadn't experienced before, though it came with its own complexities. Lombardo's storytelling captures the rawness of these moments, showing how formative experiences can shape us in ways we don't fully understand until years later. The messiness of motherhood. Julia's relationships with her children are central to the novel, particularly the tension between her desire to protect them and her realization that she can't shield them from life's hardships. Ben's impending marriage brings Julia's fears about his emotional readiness to the forefront, while Alma's defiance forces Julia to confront her own shortcomings as a parent. One of the most compelling aspects of Lombardo's writing is her exploration of maternal ambivalence. Julia loves her children fiercely, but she's also honest about the exhaustion, guilt, and self-doubt that come with motherhood. She questions whether her attempts to give her children a stable, happy life have succeeded or whether her own flaws have left an indelible mark on them. Themes of friendship and identity. At its core, Same as It Ever Was is a story about identity, how we see ourselves, how others see us, and how those perspectives evolve over time. Julia's relationship with Helen serves as a mirror, reflecting both who Julia was and who she wants to be. The novel examines the nuances of female friendship, particularly the unique challenges of intergenerational relationships. Helen's wisdom and confidence initially inspire Julia, but their dynamic also reveals the power imbalances that can exist in even the closest bonds. As Julia grapples with Helen's reappearance, she begins to question the influence Helen had on her choices and whether she's allowed that influence to linger too long. Their relationship is a reminder that mentorship and friendship, while invaluable, can also be fraught with complexity. A journey toward acceptance. As the narrative unfolds, Julia begins to find clarity amid the chaos. She learns to embrace the imperfections in her relationships and acknowledges the ways in which her past has shaped her present. The novel doesn't offer tidy resolutions, instead, it celebrates the messiness of life and the resilience required to navigate it. Julia's journey is one of self-awareness and growth, as she moves toward accepting herself and those around her, flaws and all. Lombardo's writing is rich with emotional depth, capturing the intricacies of human connection with authenticity and nuance. She brings Julia's struggles to life in a way that feels deeply relatable, reminding readers that the path to self-discovery is rarely linear. Conclusion. Same as It Ever Was is a masterful exploration of the human experience, filled with moments of heartbreak, humor, and hope. Through Julia Ames, Claire Lombardo offers a poignant reminder that life is a series of beginnings and endings, each shaping the person we become. This novel isn't just a story, it's an invitation to reflect on our own journeys, to examine the relationships that have defined us, and to find beauty in the imperfect, cyclical nature of life. For anyone who has ever wrestled with the weight of the past or the uncertainty of the future, Same as It Ever Was is a must-read, or, even better, a must-listen. This extended summary aims to capture the richness of Lombardo's novel while sparking interest for listeners eager to dive into the audiobook.